What is going on, everybody? It's Alex coming back here with another video, and today we are doing a 7-round mock draft for arguably the busiest team in free agency, the New England Patriots. So, obviously, their name is a little bit in the news right now, and they've done quite a bit to show that they're kind of going just straight up, heck, let's throw everything that we can at it. Let's have some fun, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But they tried everything, all right? So obviously we got the free agency tracker up here. We can look at all the different prospects they've signed, but let's start off the draft right now just to get it rolling. Just get the dice rolling to keep it going. Oh my God, Trey Lance is at number 2. Oh my God, please take Zach Wilson before this pick. Thank God. So Justin Fields is gone as well. So at least it's not going to be too out of the ordinary. So if we want to look at who we got this draft, by the way, I'm still thinking about going a wide receiver here, even over a guy like Mac Jones. We got Cam Newton, right? 1-year deal doesn't really mean that much, but it kind of shows where they're trying to roll. They could have went after a Fitzmagic. They could have went after an Andy Dalton. They could have went after more of these pocket style type of guys, but no, they decided to try to do year 2 with Cam Newton and see how it rolls, especially with all these new guys. I mean, especially since all the old guys are coming back. So Nelson Aguilar, Hunter Henry, Kendrick Bourne. I mean, the tight end course is stacked. Wide receiver room, still think there's stuff. There's still stuff to be had there. Your offensive line's complete again, which is great. Your defensive front, I mean, your Henry Anderson, that was probably the steal, like the low keyest steal of the entire free agency. You obviously got a shit ton of linebackers back, which is you guys got great deals on the majority of these. Matt Judon was a little bit overpaid in my opinion, but heck, with all the great deals that did happen, they kind of paid about the amount that they should have. They definitely went to work this offseason. So that's huge to me. But they still do not have a weapon that I think is good enough to beat a guy like Jalen Waddle. I don't think Edelman's going to be really a big factor past this year. Mac Jones is on the board, but it's pretty obvious that they want to move away from this type of pocket passer. They've had success with it in the past. I would think about going this way, but dude, Jalen Waddle just fell to 15. Okay, I have him as my number 8 guy in the draft. So TDN and I link up on that one. He is so talented that you just cannot. I have him as my arguably 1B wide receiver in this class. He's just unreal. And if you think that Nelson Aguilar and Kendrick Bourne are gonna stop me from getting Jalen Waddle, you guys would be very, very much confused. JOK could be another interesting prospect here. Somebody Belichick could definitely use, but zero doubt in my mind. We're going Jalen Waddle over Mac Jones 10 out of 10 times. I think Jalen Waddle should be gone by pick 8, especially if there's trades going on. Mac Jones, I just don't really feel like he can put a team into the Super Bowl unless the team is fully stacked around him. And again, I feel like this team is like you're giving 1-year contracts to dudes. You need to make sure it's the best year possible. And Jalen Waddle has potential to be number 1 wide receiver down the line. Again, we're not doing trades just because it's a little bit too RNG. It's too bad that we didn't get a guy like Zayvon Collins or Nick Bolton there to fall to us, which would have been a great idea, a great pick there for us. But looking at the guys who are left on the board, you got Baron Browning here. I've always thought of him as a Patriots guy. I'm going to be honest. We could look at more of a safety route. Yes, we did get Jalen Mills, so don't really need to do that. There's not really places we need to go anymore. That's kind of like the moral of the story here. But Jamin Davis could be a really good prospect. Again, if you want to see the linebackers, we brought on 3 dudes. Judon is here for the long haul. He definitely is going to be more of a pass rush threat. Raekwon McMillan, he's here just to be here. And Van Noy again. So you're getting more of these pass rushing type of dudes rather than these true like legit run stuffing and true linebackers. If we're going to be honest, I think that Van Noy's as well as Raekwon McMillan have both been playing more of a blitz type role. So I still think that there's something to be had with a coverage linebacker like Jamin Davis here. And guys, if we're going to be honest, I might even be targeting Davis Mills in the next round. I think Davis Mills is an excellent quarterback. If you guys want a quarterback who has 4.5, 4.6 speed, that's somebody who can fit both roles the Patriots are looking for. And again, we're not doing trades in this because it's too much RNG and it's a little bit too cheesy. So I am going to be going Jamin Davis here over all these other prospects. Jamin Davis had 11 starts, but he made the most out of every single one of them. Amazing coverage player, great instincts, and he's the type of guy where he took what he could and went with it. Again, we could have went a guy like Rondale Moore there and just they totally went offensive heavy, but I wasn't down for that. I think that we really need to make sure that it's balanced on both sides because that's how we're going to be able to win a championship, right? So we're going to see who else falls to us, and we're going to get the best player available just to be able to continue to make this team as good as possible. Obviously, I would love to have seen a guy like Josh Myers fall to us if we did not sign two centers. That was something that I was really worried about. The fact that David Andrews gave you guys that contract absolutely is mind-boggling to me. I absolutely love David Andrews, and I thought that was he deserved almost as much as Corey Linsley, in my opinion, on the market. I absolutely love him. So at this spot, let's see what we can do. Okay, so after looking at your guys' contract, see who's on the roster, your depth chart, it's been pretty obvious to me that there are two positions that we could be attacking here. One of which is going to be a corner. That you might be like, how the hell, Alex? We have a really deep corner class, and we have, I mean, really deep corner group. That's true. But again, we've been hearing rumors about Stephon Gilmore and the trade markets. His contract is up this year. So there is some idea that he might be gone soon. And that to me is a little bit worrisome. Again, if you guys want to see what their contracts are looking like at the cornerback position, take a look. Again, JC Jackson is also going to be gone after next year. Stephon Gilmore, there is, well, your top two guys, right? JC Jackson, Stephon Gilmore. I don't think with the 13 million that you guys have left in reserve cap, you're going to be able to pay both of these guys. That's just my genuine opinion. So I think one of them is going to be gone. I love Keith Taylor Jr. You guys aren't going to like it. I love Keith Taylor Jr. He is perfect blend of size, speed, and coverage ability. He can play any single role that you want him to. He is amazing. I love him to death. I'm a huge fan of him. We're going to be going with him and praying that maybe our next pick, I believe we do have a compensatory pick, will allow us to select a quarterback just to be able to have somebody there. I know Kyle Trask is already off the board, but I'm trying to not get Kyle Trask. I'm trying to get Davis Mills with one of our next picks, which I'm quite surprised that we didn't get to have another pick right there. I'm praying that we don't. I'm pretty sure we'll be able to select our guy at our next pick. So, checking who is on the board, you got Kellen Mond above Davis Mills. That's gonna be wonderful for us. By the way, Davis Mills, he just had an amazing pro day, so he will be gone by this time. But in this draft, he isn't. Looking at the guys who are on the board, you got Frank Darby here. Trey Sermon would be an interesting back. Of course, Patrick Jones and Marvin Wilson. They would be great. We want to look at who the Patriots signed in free agency. You got Devon Godshaw here. You got some two interior defensive ends. If you guys want to think about them as more of like the 3-4 DNs, that would be a good option for them. But I mean, they could also use technically an edge player. Let's look at the guys who they have at edge. They got Chase Winovich here as well as Uche. So I'm gonna be going off that train a little bit. I guess yeah, you got Van Noy here too. You're fine on the edge defensive line front. You know, we already helped out the corner core. There's not really much that we have to do, guys. There really isn't. We got a pick coming up in like what one spot. Let's secure the guy that we need to get. That's Davis Mills. He's somebody who can be more Cam Newton-esque. I wouldn't call him Cam Newton, but somebody who has good size to him, 6'4", 222. He's good enough. He's fast. He's able to do reads pretty damn well, and he had really good visual progression from last year to this year. I did a full in-depth report on him. You guys could check that out if you guys want to. But at this next spot, I mean, shoot, we might just go a safety here just to get like some damn good value here. DeMar Hamlin's somebody who I could definitely see the Patriots going after. He's a true slot corner as well. But running back wise, if we want to get a little bit of lightning to the thunder of Damian Harris, I know we have what's his name, Shoney Michelle there, but I'm not that big of a fan of Sony. I'm looking at Javion Hawkins here, and I'm like, ooh, can you imagine if Cam Newton can check down to a speedster like Javion Hawkins? I'd love it. Jamar Jefferson's another good guy, but I don't want to continue going back to that well. So we're gonna be rocking Javion Hawkins here. Sorry, I just had a random pause, so gotta love that, right? It is, of course, the wonder of me. I'm gonna definitely try to be like, why the hell did I randomly pause there? But that is, of course, the life of an editor. I immediately take a pause. I'm like, oh shit, this is gonna screw up my editing later. Okay, so with this pick, what we got to do is evaluate what we have, right? And we have a bunch of no names at a lot of different positions, but mainly we already solved this running back problem, right? You got our two guys here. You got Sonny Michel and Damian Harris. I'm still not a huge fan of Sonny Michel. Don't think he's going to be worth it bringing him back. But I do think that Javion Hawkins is going to be a really good addition to these guys. Kind of what J.J. Taylor was supposed to be last year. What I do think that we could continue to develop is this wide receiver core. N'Keal Harry already have been in the trade rumors, right? We've already seen that the Patriots try to shop him to a couple teams. Kendrick Bourne, again, not sold. Julian Edelman, gone after next year, replaced already by our lovely Jalen Waddle. So, do we have anybody besides that? Jacoby Myers is also going to be probably gone. We'll probably be able to keep him for a really cheap contract because that's what the Patriots do. But I think that there's still room for one more dude in this squad. Like again, I think N'Keal Harry will be a trade target for a lot of teams that missed out on guys like Kenny Golladay. I could even see the Bears trying to get N'Keal Harry right here for maybe like a fifth round, sixth round pick. So for me, what I'm going to be targeting is good ass wide receivers. And it'll be cheap of me to go after Seth Williams, but there is an option that's both realistic as well as something that Cam would like. It comes from the same school as Seth Williams and just ran a 4.26. Get some athleticism, some more speed on this team. I think that's the real juice of the offseason. Get Anthony Schwartz in there. You got Jalen Waddle and Anthony Schwartz, both 4.2 guys who are going to be able to stretch the field. That is absolutely wonderful to me. Now you can stretch it on the outside as well as in the slot. Have two guys as gadget players. It's a late fourth round, guys. Like, come on. Come on. You can definitely deal with something like that and be able to make something out of it. I was thinking about Seth Williams, but again, it's a little bit too RNG. I wouldn't want to do that every single draft, and I don't think he's a perfect fit for this team. So I think that'll be a good way to run it up. But if we see DeMar Hamlin fall to us at this next pick, we're taking him immediately. Oh my God, we got DeMar. So DeMar to me is an extreme Patriot. We don't need him at all, but it's the type of thing where the Patriots are going to have enough depth to where Jalen Mills in like 2 years can be cut. Like it's going to be one of those situations. So I'm a huge fan of DeMar. I want to see what the IDLs are looking at like. I'm trying to actually see over here where we gave Devon. So 2 year deal and then also 1 year deal, 2 year deal. So these guys are all going to be they're pretty much going to be potential cut guys after this year. So I'm going to look at right here, DeMar Hamlin, good option. Look here, Kyrus Tonga, too much RNG for me just because I take him in almost every draft where I can get the most value for you guys. DeMar Hamlin is going to be one of my guys in this draft. Excellent player, can play corner, can play safety. He's going to be the perfect depth player if you're going to get him in the fifth round. He's literally the essence of like really, really good depth. So I'm honestly super happy about it. Paris Ford might be another really good guy to bring in as a pure boxed linebacker. 4.9 speed, by the way. That hurts. That really hurts. But we have seen his talent, and it's like, wow. Shoot. Like, we might want to just bring him on as a linebacker, right? I think we might do that. It just might be like best player available, and Bill Belichick's gonna be like, "Oh, I'll give you a shot." Ooh, but Jonathan Cooper and Ellerson Smith could be really good. Honestly, screw it. We're going Ellerson Smith here. He's gonna be behind Dietrich Weiss. He's gonna be behind a lot of people, but he should not be starting day one. His upside is unbelievable. I think that he's just a super talented dude, and just his length is incredible. I absolutely love the potential of Ellerson Smith here. Kyrus Tonga, of course, being taken right before us. We'll see if we get anybody that we like at this next pick. And of course, we are still here. Nothing really there. But oh man, it hurts because Paris Ford would be such a good pick here. We already have Kyle Duggar, but Kyle Duggar is going to be much more of that safety type. I think Paris Ford could be another linebacker after we lose our guys after their 1 year contracts. I'm going to do it. Paris Ford. We're going to get the Pittsburgh safeties up in here. Really, really talented dudes. Again, Paris Ford was supposed to be like a round 3, round 2 pick, right? Just because he ran a 4.9 doesn't mean he should be falling all the way to like the late 6th. I mean, it will, but I mean, his talent is still there. And if you use him in the right scheme, which I know Belichick can do, then he's going to be perfectly fine. I honestly don't think that's going to be too much of an issue whatsoever if he goes to a team where people actually know what the hell they're doing, like the Patriots. So again, this team is ready to make a big push in the playoffs just because of the fact that they're already like fully loaded. Now they have a really good backup quarterback that should potentially start someday. This team's looking up. That's the bottom line. This team's looking really, really up. I'm trying to see if there is a guy who I'm like trying to look for here. It's not Dylan Stoner, but there's another Auburn guy I really like. But I was looking for Smith Marset, and I'm not going to be going through this list trying to find where he's at, but definitely someone to keep your eyes out for. I know that I mean there's just not good enough value here for us to take anybody at interior defensive line, but maybe if we could find a lineman, that would be nice. Don't think we're going to, of course. Landon Young is not. Cole Van Lannon is not bad at all, by the way. I thought he returned to school though, so that's something I'm going to be probably leaning away from. Honestly, I think we've been going pit all this time. We don't need to go another center though. We could go some guard depth here though with Tristan Hodge. I mean, that would just be great, right? BYU again, it's a smaller school and they had a really, really good run game. I'd be pretty happy if I got Tristan Hodge here in the seventh. I mean, the Patriots know what they're doing. You know, you got Michael Owenu last year, so being able to potentially replace Shaq Lawson with no, it's not even Shaq Lawson. Oh my God, Shaq Mason with a seventh rounder would be quite the dream, right? So looking at the picks of this draft, we have quite a lot of them. We fixed the offense, right? Everything's fixed. You got two really speedy wide receivers along with some really good other talented guys in that locker room. You got the defense. Man, you loaded it up. You got linebacker, cornerback, safety, edge, also slot corner. You know, your defense has good depth as well as some quality starters now too. You got your backup quarterback who could develop into a starter really easily, guys. I think people underestimate that quite a bit. You got Javion Hawkins here, who's another dynamic weapon, and then of course get some line depth because why the hell not? It's the seventh round. So let me know what you guys think. I really like. You guys are probably like Mac Jones, but it's Jalen Waddle. So let me know what you guys think. I thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on the far side. Peace.